We all know how the story goes. Two people meet, they fall in love, the stork comes along when the time is right, and a baby is born. But what happens when the stork never shows up? That's what happened with my parents. My father had a type of cancer before I was born that resulted in him needing a marrow transplant, which often leads to infertility. So my parents gave up on storks and turned to science. It took many tries and several failures, but eventually they happened upon a process called ICSI, in conjunction with IVF. It's essentially the process of injecting an egg with a fresh or frozen sperm in a laboratory, outside of the body. I'll explain that process in depth later. For now, I would like to devote some time to the process of freezing sperm. In order for the sperm or spermatocyte to freeze, all the liquid in the cells must be drained out and replaced with a cryoprotectant. The sperms are incubated in a cryoprotectant solution, like DMSO. After that, the sperms are brought to a very low temperature, about negative 196 degrees Celsius. This keeps them in what is essentially suspended animation until they are ready to be used. Luckily, my father already had the frozen sperm necessary for ICSI. ICSI stands for intracytoplasmic sperm injection. IVF stands for in vitro fertilization, which just means the fertilization occurs in a laboratory. Here's how the process works. First, a frozen sperm is thawed. Then it is immobilized. This is done by compressing the tail of a sperm against the bottom of a petri dish with a micropipette until a clear bend is formed and is necessary for the injection. Next, the sperm is retrieved into a micropipette and injected into an already collected egg. It is a commonly held belief that processes like ICSI lead to a higher rate of birth defects. This is not true. In reality, the majority of birth defects associated with the process of ICSI result from fertility problems already present in the parents. The process of IVF, while often expensive and time-consuming, has no negative repercussions on the offspring produced. Luckily for me. Everyone can say that they were created because of science. It's reproduction, the science of development, the science of evolution even. But not everyone can say that they were essentially a lab experiment. It is estimated that more than 500,000 babies are born from IVF now each year. So it's important that we spread true facts and accurate information about this process. Families looking to grow should know that the stork might just be able to come after all. Just like it did for me.